I'm very happy to present my greetings to Shalom Ministry and all the good work that you do around the world in fulfilling the dream of the Holy Father that all should hear the love of God. Thank you for your good work and those who support you. May these special days of new evangelization bless your operators, your administrators, and your benefactors. God bless you.
Shalom World, God's own channel.
Welcome to Luminous program on Shalom World TV. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm Father Emanuel, pastor of St. Paul the Apostle in Dundas, Toronto. This morning, I wish to try my best to explain to you how sad I am when I hear about the great injustice that so many destabilized people are facing every moment of their lives. People who have a future, who are supposed to be respected in their dignity as human beings, are faced every moment with so many social problems that they have. On account of wars, on account of terrorism, on account of civil wars in their country and violence, these people move from their country and try to cross to other countries to enjoy their freedom as we usually do. Unfortunately, these kind of people, instead of finding a welcome from those people, are sometimes being or feeling helpless because they find closed borders. They find people who want to cheat them. They find people who want to treat them as if they were just not human enough. And so we as Christians, and me as a Catholic priest, when I look to God for this beautiful world full of plenty for everyone, why do we have to obstruct the Spirit of the Lord? Why do we have to obstruct the work of God? Why do we have to discredit all that God has created? Talking about people who are drowning because they try to cross the Mediterranean in order to enter in Europe. People coming from the Sahara, from Morocco, trying to reach Spain. The boat people in Asia, people who are trying their best to settle down, build their family once again, having had their houses destroyed by war, by terrorism, by violence. And instead of finding people ready to welcome them in a place, a cozy place, they find so much opposition. We heard in the news, in Germany, over 1 million, they were welcomed. In our beautiful country, Canada, thanks to the government, over 50,000 Syrians were also accepted. So many other countries yet blocked away. What kind of respect are we giving to these people? Unsettled people that are innocent, absolutely innocent, because they have nothing to do with the war. They have nothing to do with any broken rules that the governments might think that these people have done or have committed any mistake. Then we come to the human trafficking. We find so many people being trafficked from one country to the other, promised so much, yet when they reach their destination, they were so misguided. They were so misused. They are given cheap labor. They are giving jobs that are not dignified enough. Why? Because we have to continue with the idea of enslaving other people who are so defenseless, who are so weak, who are so eager to earn their living in an honest way, yet they cannot because they are cheated by the powerful, by those who try their best to discredit people like us, like me and you, who has the eagerness to build a new life somewhere else on account that in their own very country they cannot fulfill their dream. Dear brothers and sisters, and what about those abuses that we're talking about? Talking about children being abused. What about those children talking about the pornography that they have to submit to? Children, toddlers, who are the result of love, are taken away, are sexually abused, are thrown out because they are useless when they don't have that support that they need. They just are used for money, for business, for dirty business. And we many times hear so much about this and do absolutely nothing. I have so many experiences being a missionary priest. And I know why so many missionary priests and lay missionary ones have been persecuted, killed, because these people were so much outspoken and they have criticized the governments for trying to hide the truth, try to exclude all those who are able to give proofs of all that hatred that is being passed on these defenseless people. Dear brothers and sisters, when we are talking about the gospel of Christ, we cannot just look at this gospel as the place where we can just choose what we like. When we really want to live the gospel of Christ, we have to take it as it is and not interpret it the way we like. And in that beautiful gospel of Christ, we can read about the richness of the human person, about the dignity that he has as a human person. We can reflect once again when we read the gospel of the Lord, when we read the Bible, that history repeats itself. Mary and Joseph tried their best to find a place where Mary would be the mother later on by delivering her child, her first child. It was not easy for them to find a place where to rest and to deliver their baby. It was not easy. And that's why they had to contend with that dirty cave where Mary gave birth to Jesus. And that's why history repeats itself, because that's what's going on around the world. People who are supposed to be treated as human beings are treated worse than animals. These people who have the right to live as human beings, these people who are supposed to be supported because they are capable people, they are people who have left their country because there is no safety. So they are trying their best to settle somewhere else and continue to contribute out of their resources. Yet, many times we misunderstand them. We just talk politics instead of talking according to what we believe in, love and respect. Many times we feel that we know everything. That according to the saying, if I'm okay, everybody's supposed to be okay. What a lie. We know that that is purely a lie that is absolutely wrong. It goes against all that is so realistic around us. Dear brothers and sisters, we know for sure so many people are suffering on account of our injustice, on account of our indifference. And that's why we as Christians need to stand to all that goes against the rights of every human being. Those valiant people who were killed because they were obstacles to those who are against life, who are against the truth. People who struggle so much to live their own principles and try their best to pass them on to so many others were eliminated. And so those who are voiceless remained voiceless. But, dear brothers and sisters, that's why we are still present. That's why we are still alive. And we need to continue on the principles of these people who fought so hard to give a meaning, to give a value to these destabilized people, to these people who are unfortunately not able to settle down in peace. They feel rejected. They feel that they don't have the right to leave their country, even while being terrified by bombs. Dear brothers and sisters, we are comfortably enough in our homes. We are so happy with our families, with our children. We are so happy to explore so many possibilities in our lives. We have so many dreams because we know that we have the support of the government, we have the support of the community, we have the support of so many others who know us. Yet these people who are marginalized have no support. They are like intruders. They are like vagabonds. They are like those who are only there to give trouble and create trouble. And that's not the truth. The majority of them are people of good faith. They need our support to continue living and continue giving the world an answer. That when we neglect others, when we disregard others, we are disregarding ourselves. We are disregarding that beauty that is called a human person. Dear brothers and sisters, it follows that disrespect that we show towards an unborn baby, when we disregard that unborn baby, when we just call it an ABC, when we abort it, then we continue to build on that. And that's why we disregard every other human being. That's why euthanasia is so common now, is legalized, because it's quite easy to eliminate those who are useless according to us. Dear brothers and sisters, when we look at ourselves, we know what kind of beautiful product God has brought in the world. We are full of that beauty that God has donated to each one of us. We, being the gift of God, we who are in the likeness of God, in the image of that same Creator, are here on this world to create bridges, to support others on equal basis. We are not interested, especially as Christians, to look down on others, but with open arms. We are doing our utmost to help them, to give them a place where they can settle down, to support them. Why? Because we believe that they form part also of our race, that they form part of our community, that they form part of our lives. And so we are responsible for them. We are there to support them, because without them we are not complete. That's what we say in the teachings of Christ. That's what we read about. Because when we think of ourselves, when we think of our small world, we become so narrow-minded. But when we open up and look at close range, at the advantages that we can gain from the presence of so many other cultures around us, from so many intellectual people who are eager to express themselves in a comfortable place where we can provide for them, then we can understand very well that the world is so rich, the world is so important, not only to those few who are, financially speaking, so stable, but even to those who we perhaps think that they are not able enough to make a step forward. Dear brothers and sisters, the popes, various popes in their own encyclicals have expressed their support to everyone without any condition. And they have emphasized their message on that unconditional love that Christ shares with everyone. That unconditional love that Christ shared with you and me. And we are supposed to continue to share that unconditional love with so many others. Please, don't look at the color. Don't look at religion. Just be practical. Look forward to welcome your brothers and sisters as Christ has accepted you. You being a sinner, you being a person who have perhaps ignored Christ in your life, you can notice that Christ is always ready to accept the prodigal son. Turn back to Christ and think of your brother and sister. Your brother and sister needs you, needs to be identified like you with Christ. And that's why you cannot stop supporting everyone in need without any idea that perhaps you cannot communicate with him through his language, etc. You have a new language in your heart, the language of love. And that's what Christ wants from you. Christ wants you to go down, immerse with the suffering of others, and work with everyone. Because for everything that you do with the least, you will be doing that with Christ himself. And Christ will pay you 100-fold for all that you are ready to give and to share with those who are really needed, for those who are really suffering, for those who feel unfulfilled still in their lives on account of the indifference of others. So be one. Be one. Integrate yourself as much as you can in the life of the church, and you will feel that fulfillment in your heart. Dear brothers and sisters, may God bless you always.
Glory to Jesus Christ. Hello, I'm Father Thomas Loya. When our hearts are filled with the love of God and we see everything through that love, even tragedy and sorrow can be turned to gift, and only through God's love. Please help us to spread that message of love. Support Shalom World TV. No gift is too small, no gift is too large.